Hey there, this is Mr. Chang from Los Altos High School. I have a quick question. My students already know the answer to this one, but does anyone know what this is a heat map of right here? Take guesses in three, two, one. That's not proper wait time, but anyways, ever since I was a teacher, I loved working at maps. I love data visualization, and I've always had students look at data visualization maps, look specifically centered on environmental justice, such as Cal Enviroscreen, or looking at heat maps of who's at risk from heat or who's at risk from floods and different things like that. And I was thinking to myself, maybe it's time that I make a map of my own on something that I'm interested in. And what you're looking at is, if you haven't guessed it already, it is a map of where my students come from to get to school at Los Altos High School, which is the star on the map. As you notice, a lot of students bypass different high schools to come here for one reason or another, which for me as a teacher at Workman High School for 6 years, which is also on the map near one of the larger clusters, breaks my heart a little bit. I think of all the great teachers there and the great learning opportunities. And knowing that it's not a one-off thing that students are choosing to come here, but that's a generational thing through intersection of all kinds of reasons and different things like that. Yeah, it was just cool to kind of visualize and see it. Some information about the data. Students were it was a random student sampling. Personal information was removed. So in the sense that the data has been perturbed, I have removed outliers, and students put in coordinates of the closest cross streets to where they most often spend the night. And so with that, about 140 respondents, this is the map that was generated. Some key other facts as well, or interesting things to note, is that if you look at this chart right here, about 90% of my students get here roughly on time-ish. And then also a large percentage of my students on this graph, as you can see here, they actually get a ride to school, which based off of the heat map that I just showed lines up. There were so many questions that I had. There were even more questions that my students had. And because I realized how easy it was to make a map like this and how I could teach this to my students, next year, I'm gonna be super excited. I'm gonna have my students make their own maps, ask their own questions, and hopefully tell their own stories. And even more so excited about the stories that I'm gonna learn from them than about the story here. I have to do a little bit more digging as to why this is, but I also look forward to this new way of getting my students to share a little bit about their lives and also potentially make a difference in their own community. So till next time.